Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Concept of Biology. Our today's topic is structure of human heart and its function. So this is the structure of human heart, or you can say the anatomy of the human heart. Human heart consists of four chambers, that is right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium and left ventricle. Right atrium and the right ventricle connected by a valve called tricuspid valve, and the left atrium and the left ventricle is connected by a valve that is called bicuspid valve. Now the question is, what is valve? So valve is an outgrowth or the projection that helps the blood to flow in one direction. When blood try to move backward, the valve automatically closes so the blood cannot flow in the backward direction. We know about the artery and vein. Artery basically helps to transport oxygenated blood, that is oxygen rich blood, and the vein helps to transport deoxygenated blood, that is carbon dioxide rich blood. One thing must keep in mind, that is pulmonary artery, only artery that carry deoxygenated blood, and the pulmonary vein is the only vein that carry oxygenated blood. These two exceptions must keep in your mind. Now come to this picture. All deoxygenated blood from the lower parts of the body, carried out by the inferior vena cava, and all the deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body is carried out by the superior vena cava into the right atrium. This is the right atrium. Now what happened? Deoxygenated blood from the right atrium enters into the right ventricle through a valve. This is the valve. This valve is known as tricuspid valve. So if someone asked you that which valve is present between the right atrium and the right ventricle, the answer is tricuspid valve. Now what happened to the next? Blood from the right ventricle, that is deoxygenated blood, transferred into the pulmonary artery. This is pulmonary that is pulmonary artery, and this deoxygenated blood transferred to the lung. But the question is, how this deoxygenated blood transfer into the pulmonary artery? Because the wall of the right ventricle is very thick, and due to its contraction, it pushes blood upward. This blood is carried out by the pulmonary artery to the lung. Now what happened to the next? This lung convert this deoxygenated blood coming from the pulmonary artery into the oxygenated blood by adding oxygen and removing carbon dioxide from the blood. And this oxygenated blood carried out by the pulmonary vein from lung to the left atrium, and from the left atrium it enters into the left ventricle through a valve. This valve is known as bicuspid valve. Now the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle enters into the aorta. Because the wall of the left ventricle is very thick, and due to the contraction of this wall, it pushes the blood into the aorta. Now aorta helps to transport this oxygenated blood throughout the body. One more thing we have to know here about the pacemaker. So there are two types of pacemakers are found in the human heart, that is AC node, that is sinoatrial node, and second one is AV node, that is atrioventricular node. Sinoatrial node and the AV node both are helps to produce the electrical impulse, generate electrical impulse, and their locations are very important for us, especially for class 10th students. That is, sinoatrial node always present the upper wall of the right atrium. That is sinoatrial node, and the atrioventricular node present lower left corner of the right atrium. This is the simple overview how blood transport throughout the lungs. So deoxygenated blood coming from the body into the right atrium, transport into the right ventricle by tricuspid valve, through the right ventricle by the help of pulmonary artery, it transport into the lungs convert this deoxygenated blood into the oxygenated blood, and this oxygenated blood carried out by the pulmonary vein into the left atrium. From the left atrium it enters into the left ventricle through the bicuspid valve, and due to the contraction of the left ventricle it transported throughout the body, that is through the by the aorta. So this is how blood, the basic structure of the human heart, and the pathway of blood transport in the human heart. Thank you.